One Piece Manga Chapter 1068, title Abvss No. From the title alone, it can be inferred that the entire chapter will be heartbreaking. And in this chapter, we will see the master plan of Emo. Then we will see another heartbreaking incident. Before that, please subscribe my channel and like the video. Now head back to the chapter. In the cover page, we see Hachinosu clearing the snow from the road. And there, two sheep giving him gloves to protect him from the cold. Man, what a lively scene! In the first page, we can see everyone praising ELBAF. Their conversation is about ELBAF's food, trade, and many other things. And one of them said that he used to think badly of the giants, but now he sees them with respect. And he also wants to meet one of them, if he gets the chance. At first their thought was different about giants of ELBAF, but Harold was able to erase the black mark on his lineage. Then the scene shifts to ELBAF New World. Their Harold is seen giving a public speech. And he was saying that, finally we became a member nation. And we have to build ships so that people can visit our area. And he also says that we are actually a rare minority in the eyes of outsiders. But there are many nations out there with a wide variety of races coexisting. And so we should also join that culture and increase knowledge with them. And all the people gathered there were agreeing with his words, and one of them was saying, "Hey, come on, this is enough. We don't need this warrior's title anymore." And their herald swears to Ida in his heart that he will fulfill her dream. Then the scene shifts to ELBAF's Walrus School. Their ELBAF's children are seen playing. Then Harold is seen talking to Saul, and he thanked Saul for everything. Actually, Saul is helping him fulfill his dream by taking on all the responsibilities of his school. Then Saul jokes, "Better sharp kids than sharp blades, huh?" And he laughs and he tells him that by doing these things, he has lost another side of ELBAF, that is ELBAF's military power. And Harold replies that he doesn't believe that military power alone can make a country strong. Then he continued to say that everything she knew was because of Ida. And she also said that this was the only blessing in her life, and this was meeting Ida. Man, this is Ida's grave. That means Ida is no longer alive. Yeah guys, this death was inevitable. In last chapter, we discovered she was poisoned by Loki's race people. If you want to see the previous video, go to my channel. Then the scene shifts to where Harold was talking to Ida at the last moment, and Ida was looking very sick. And Ida was telling Harold that ELBAF has changed a lot now. Before there was only conflict and fight, but now it seems to have disappeared. Now here the children can laugh, play, and study, and she gives all the credit to Harold. And in her reply, Harold says that the old customs were very bad, and he will change those customs, but Ida says in response that she kinda likes the old customs. And she also tells Harold to cherish his culture. Harold is shocked to hear her. And he said, "Don't you understand that this custom has prevented you and me from getting married?" Ida replied to this by laughing and also called him sweet. And Ida asked what about Loki. Harold replied that he will always be Hadrian's younger brother. And he believes this in his heart. And she is very happy to hear this from Harold. And she tells her not to worry. Whatever he does, he will always be everyone's favorite. And while saying this, Ida lies down on the bed. And Ida asks, is he at the end of his plan? And he replied softly to make her happy and replied, "Yes, that's right. And very soon we will connect with ELBAF with other country and we will be able to travel everywhere like the old days." And Ida is very happy to hear him. And she holds his hand and says, "I am looking forward to it." But when Harold holds her hand becomes limp and fell down from his hand. Yeah guys, she is no more. Harold comes out of there crying. And Hadjarudin and everyone else runs inside the house, and there are tears everywhere. And we also see Loki in prison. Maybe he killed that old man who was responsible for the death of his mother Ida. Man, what a sad moment, and in one scene ELBAF is shown a frozen scene, which was the name of this chapter, and it reveals ELBAF's most heartbreaking scene. I don't know, it is coincidence or not, but in every universe Loki had to sacrifice. And both lost their foster mother while they were in jail. Then the scene shifts to Holy Land Marijoa. There the elders were saying that Shanks is missing. One elder said that he could have been formally knighted if he wanted to. Guys, Shanks is full of mystery. This is kind of funny scene. Then they offer Harold to become God's knight since he was their second choice. Harold tells them that he is ready to do it for ELBAF's membership. Basically, they told Harold that they will connect ELBAF to the outside world, so that they can prosper and live happily. Then they congratulate him and say that the Great One has believed in him. And they also say that this ritual will take a long time to complete, and when it is completed, he will be memorable to the people of ELBAF. But Harold had another wish. When ELBAF joins the world government, he will leave his post, because someone younger would actually be better in his place. He was probably thinking about Loki. But then Emo said only he will take this decision. And immediately Harold was surprised for two reasons. The fact that this throne is supposed to be empty, and second, who is actually sitting on this throne. Later, he was calling Harold, and he was saying that he has been watching Harold all those times. Then a very loud sound was heard in the scene, and it was Harold's. And it was echoing throughout the entire Marijoa. Actually, this was happening because of the ritual. After the ritual was completed, he felt a lot of power within him, and the same tattoo can be seen on Harold's left hand. But because of this tattoo, now Emo can always control him. One of the elders said, "This is the power of immortality." And another said that he was now a monster more terrible than the other giants. Then Emu told him that from now on you are an immortal knight sworn to Emo, but Harold could not believe that he had become immortal. Then Emu ordered him to form a pentagram on ELBAF, and if he did so, their bond would be stronger. When Harold reaches his homeland, he gives everyone the good news that he has received a mission, and if it is completed, ELBAF will be recognized as a member nation of the world government. And everyone was praising Harold after hearing this news. Man, he is a very simple man. Anyway, let's move to another scene. The scene shifts to the West Castle, and there it is seen that Harold has drawn that pentagram in the middle of his palace. And Harold can now talk to Emo telepathically because he is a god's knight. And Emo orders him to gather all the people of ELBAF and make them a huge army, and they will serve Emo like him. And hearing this, he screams and says that everything he has been doing so far is to keep ELBAF away from violence. The guards there could not understand who he was talking to. Then Emo replies that he promised him that he would repay the debt of ELBAF's history at any cost. But Harold says that he was only talking about himself back then. But Emo says that ELBAF's history cannot be fulfilled through his sacrifice alone, and he has to obey him now, because those who go through the deep sea contract not only gain immortality, they have to fulfill all the duties of Emo even if they don't want to. And then Harold feels he's losing control, and this contract was never for his good. Man, Rock was right all along. Then in this scene, Harold shouts to the guards, and they reach there and see Harold's miserable condition. Harold orders them to immediately call Elder Jaharul and his two sons. And the guards tell him that Hajrudin is somewhere in the sea now, and Loki is imprisoned in prison. Harold shouts to them that none of this matters now and orders them to release Loki. Then in the next page, scenes shift to the realm of dead. They immediately release Loki and say that Harold has asked him to appear before him soon. Then the scene shifts to Elder Jarul, and they reach him with the same message. And Jaharul wants to know what's going on, but they say this is something urgent. Hey guys, we have finally reached the moment when ELBAF's castle massacre happened, and this is the day Harold lost his life. But to know exactly what happened, we will have to wait for the next chapter. Man, what a chapter! And day by day Oda is completely cooking with too many bangers. But the first part of this chapter was very sad. Then the real history of this big flashback was revealed. Maybe we will go back to the main story in the next chapter. where we saw there is a possibility of Luffy versus Emo, because Emo has already reached the ELBAF. Anyway, guys, how did you like the chapter? Comment below. And to watch the next chapter, subscribe to the channel and give a like. So see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.